Hello, hi everyone. My name is Maura and this is Hooked on Crochet. This is my very first live and I am kicking off week one of the Lady Rose Poncho Cal. So it will be really reassuring if there is anybody, if there is anybody out there, if you could let me know in the comments if the sound is okay. I have my microphone on and I have done some sound checks and I believe it's okay. So if there is anybody there, please do let me know if the sound is working. Thank you so much. So we are going to kick off the Lady Rose Poncho Cal. I have some yarn here. I have the pattern and I have my hook. And that's basically all you need yourself as well. So let me introduce you to the Lady Rose Poncho. If you have been following me on social media, on my Instagram, you might have seen that I designed this pattern approximately 2 years ago. And it's a very simple, beginner-friendly poncho that is made out of 4 granny squares that are then seamed together with a little detail around the neck and a necktie and some fringe. Obviously, all of the necktie situation and the fringe is optional, but yes, it's a very beginner friendly, as I said, very simple pattern, and I'm very excited to host this Cal and get cracking on making a poncho. So just to give you a little run through, I do hope to run this crochet along for 6 weeks. There will be a break for 1 week when I am away. And I will continue then with the very last week after that week off. As I mentioned, my pattern, I made the Lady Rose Poncho pattern free on my Ravelry. So if you go to Ravelry, you should be able to download the pattern for free. It's a very simple pattern. And at the end of it, I didn't print my tester photos now, but at the end of the pattern on Ravelry, you will see lots of lovely tester photos. And I'm very grateful to my tester team who helped me out with that. And hopefully some of them can join at some stage over the 6 weeks and say hello. So do check out my Instagram. There's lots of pictures on there of the Lady Rose pattern, the different versions that I've done and that my testers have done. And that will give you an idea as well what the poncho looks like on different body types. And also it gives you an idea in my pattern as well. I do have listed beside the testers the different yarns that they used. So yeah, do check that out and you can see what yarns they used for their ponchos. Okay. So I am going to start crocheting soon, don't worry. And obviously feel free to crochet yourself if you know how to make a granny square. Hopefully you do. I can see some stuff flashing up at the bottom of the screen. I think there are some people there. Hi, Sam, you're there. And Rafaela, you're there as well. Thank you so much. It is so lovely to see you. They are 2 of the testers that tested the pattern for me. I am so grateful that you came and said hi. Thank you so much. Do let us know in the comments if you're comfortable, what country you're watching from. I know I have America and Italy in the comments right now. So yeah, do say hi and let us know where you're from if you can. Okay, so just to explain what we're at here. Today is week 1 of a 6-week crochet along for the Lady Rose Poncho. And the Lady Rose Poncho came about 2 years ago as part of a hobby campaign, believe it or not. So Hobby put out a campaign called Magical Garden, and I decided that I wanted to combine a kind of a mohair effect yarn with a natural cotton fibre to make a kind of whimsical halo effect for a poncho. So I just decided to go for a very simple design for that campaign. And now it didn't get actually taken on. If you do know, I do have a hobby video up. Go and have a look at that if you like. But yes, they didn't take on the pattern, which is completely fine. I'm sure there were lots of other lovely patterns there anyways, but I did enjoy designing that pattern and I have made a good few of them, including one for commission. So that is how that came about. I wanted to design a beginner friendly pattern, but I also wanted to design a kind of a mindful, mindless, I never know which one to say. So a pattern that you can kind of work on without thinking too much. So you can put on an audiobook, watch some telly, and just kind of make your granny squares and work them up and not worry too much about having to, do your stitch count or, anything like that. So that is that is what I wanted to achieve with this pattern. I've made, like I said, actually three versions in total. I've made the original one that is pictured in the pattern. I made another one in the same yarn as a commission for a friend's mother. And then I also made the more crazy colored one that you can see on my social media. And it was also the thumbnail for this video here. And I'm about to make a fourth one in a very boring color, but we'll get to the yarn in a minute. Okay, I'm going to try and stop for a second and figure out how I say hello, because I can't see people joining here. So yes, okay, hello. I see somebody from Belfast. Hello, thank you so much for joining. I wonder if I look on my phone, can I see these comments coming up? I'm not so sure. Is the sound okay? Please let me know if the sound is okay, if you can hear me. And yeah, I'm not sure how I would even see the comments. Let me see. Okay, yeah. I can see Sam and Rafaela there. I can see some other people joining there as well. Thank you so much. The sound is perfect. Thank you so much, Kaylin. Okay, brilliant. I'm good to go. Okay, so regarding the name of the pattern, I know the pink, purple, blue, turquoisey one doesn't look very much Lady Rose, but the original design, I guess, is more kind of reminiscent of that name. I went with that name. I put up a post on my story and I was looking for suggestions for what could I call this poncho. The way it's designed, you can wear it like a traditional poncho where you have the V, the point coming downwards, or you can wear it across, either like a more kind of I suppose, a horizontal kind of shawl type situation. It looks fine. It looks better than fine. It looks good both ways is what I mean. It fits fine both ways is what I was trying to say. So I put up a little giveaway. I was going to give a free pattern, the Lady Rose pattern, a free copy of the pattern to whoever could come up with a good name. So I had loads of really good suggestions, but it was actually a lovely lady called Jane, and she has the page It's a Crochet Day. And she came up with the Lady Rose, and straight away when I saw it, I thought, oh, Downton Abbey. So I did ask her, what was it Downton Abbey inspired, and she did say yes, she was thinking of it and watching Downton Abbey at the time that she came up with the name as well. So yeah, so that's where the name came from. Of course, I have notes. If you've watched any of my videos so far, you will know that I have notes. So I can't really stay on track without them. So yeah, okay, I guess at this stage we are 8 minutes into the live. I better tell you what yarn I'm using, and I better get cracking on making a square. So I am using this yarn. I do not know a whole pile about it other than the cone shape really intrigued me. You don't get very many cone shaped yarns. Like, you don't get this kind of thing in Ireland very often. So when I saw it, I just wanted to get it. It says Golo, super soft, warm and comfortable cotton yarn. And there are 250 grams in it. I don't think I have enough in the 2 cones that I had, but when I initially got it, I just really wanted to try it out first before I committed to getting any more. So we're gonna see how we go. I'll keep an eye today and see how much one square takes. Okay, so I can see some more people joining there. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. This is actually surreal. It is absolutely surreal. I can't believe a little old crochet lady like me has figured out how to set up a device with a microphone and somehow go live on YouTube. So I am very grateful for your support and and for you coming along. So before I get to, because I'm a bit all over the place, before I get to crazy, I just want to say again, this is a free cal. There is a free pattern. It is the Lady Rose Poncho pattern. It is on my Ravelry page, which is Hooked on Crochet. Everything I'm on is every social I'm on is just Hooked on Crochet. So if you would like to take part, this is a 6-week cal. I am going to go live every Thursday for 6 weeks at 8 p.m. GMT +1, so 8 p.m. in Ireland. And we are going to make 1 square each week until we have our 4 squares, and then we are going to seam them, put fringe on them, and do the neck. Okay, so that's the idea. Like I said, there will be a 1 week break in there. If you go back and check my social media, or if you go back and check my shorts, and that, you will find more information there. But for now, the pattern is free. All we're doing is using an Aran or DK weight yarn, and we are going to start making some granny squares. That is what week 1 is all about. Okay, so everyone has their own favorite way of making a granny square. I have a slightly different way. I do have a highlight on my Instagram story showing how I make granny squares. So yeah. Sorry, there's some comments popping up. It's really surreal to see them popping up when I'm trying to do. Your voice is so nice. Thank you so much. And you look like you have it looks like you have a nice personality. Thank you very much. That's very complimentary. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of people comment on the Irish accent. From what I can see, there aren't really very many Irish crochet or knitting YouTubers. I would really love to connect with any Irish crochet or knit or crafting YouTubers that are out there. So if there's anyone out there, you know any, please do drop it in the comments below. Okay, so like I said, I do have a highlight on my Instagram where I show you how I do a granny square, and it's also in written form here on the free pattern. And I do have some pictures, I think, on the next page. I have some pictures there as well that kind of show how I do the granny square. They're there somewhere. I can't find it. Yeah, there they are. Okay, so on page 2 of the pattern, I do have some pictures as to how I create my granny square. It's nothing revolutionary. I can't even tell I can't even tell you how I started doing them this way, but I like doing them this way because it kind of avoids that seam that goes up the middle. I like to start one corner, continue the rest of my round, and then finish off the corner and do a chain 2 and join. Then, yeah. So, okay, let's go. Okay, I don't really understand anything about mods or anything like that, so I'm just going to wing it for week 1 and hope that everything is okay. So thank you very much for your offer, but I'm just going to stay as I am for now because I haven't researched anything about mods. Hopefully we won't have any trolls in here anyways. Okay, so I'm not going to really overly talk you through how to make a granny square. So, you know, I'm sure you can figure that part out yourself. Just before we begin, I'm assuming, I suppose, that you have the pattern in front of you. If you don't, just to reiterate again, I do recommend using a DK or Aran weight yarn. I do recommend going up 1 hook size from whatever you would normally use with that particular yarn, because you want to add a bit of drape. And I recommend, just for now, grab a hook and yarn that you know works well together and start making a granny square. And as we're going, I'll be able to kind of explain more about the pattern. I do have 3 different sizes, and because it is a more free-flowing garment, the sizes are quite generous. So I have a small medium, I have a large XL, and I have a 2X, 3X in the pattern. And basically the only difference is how many rounds you add to the granny square. That's the only difference between all the sizes. So yeah. And there's measurements in the pattern too. And really and truly, the easiest and quickest way to check if you've made your granny square big enough is you keep going for however many rounds looks good and is, you know, in line with the measurements there in the pattern. And then you kind of lay your granny square over your shoulder, and it should fit kind of from the top of your chest right over to your shoulder blade. You should have proper coverage because the first seam hits you at a kind of diagonal here from the armpit up. So you should have enough by laying your granny squares over your shoulder there to get a good coverage. It shouldn't be too small. Okay, so let's start off making a granny square. Okay, so grab your yarn, grab your hook, and please do chat away and let me know what yarn you're using, what hook you're using, what yarn you're using. Do let me know that in the comments below. I do plan on making this video, saving this video onto my channel so that you can watch it back afterwards. Or anyone who missed it can also catch up, obviously, later on whenever they're free. I give crochet classes here where I live, and a couple of the ladies there are really interested in doing the Poncho Cal, which is lovely, but they're unavailable tonight. So I know they want to check back in and try and see if they can watch the live. and you know, catch up with the cal. So it would be quite an easy cal to catch up with because you're just making granny squares. So yeah, let me know in the comments whether you're watching it live or whether you're watching it on playback. Do let me know what yarn you've decided to use and what colors you're going with. I'd really love to know that. And anyone that is still here now, let me know what country you're watching from. And yeah, please follow along on my social media. Subscribing to my channel really helps. Just really helps YouTube push me out there and get more subscribers. Okay, so I nearly have round one done of my poncho here. So let's take a little pause until we have a look at it. I'm a chain 2 between my clusters, girl. Some people are chain 1, some people are chain 3. I'm a chain 2 lady between my clusters. So here we go. Round 1 done. All right, so it's a kind of a cream color. It's like a little off-white kind of cream color. So here's my first part. I feel like an influencer now. Is that making any difference? Okay. All right. So that is round 1 done. You can see you do want it to be a little looser. You don't want a tight granny square. You want the poncho to be able to flow. This is where mine is a little bit different. Sorry, I'll pause for a second. Sam, you're using Premier anti-pilling iron weight yarn in the color black. Nice, a black poncho. Oh, that'll be gorgeous, Sam. I love it. That'll be amazing. Okay, cool. That's lovely. Okay, so we're going to chain 3. I always like to make the first corner first. Now, just again to point out, this isn't a tutorial. I'm presuming you know how to make a granny square. If you don't, that's okay. Just watch along and have fun for now and go back afterwards and see on my Instagram how I make my granny squares, or check any video or any written pattern and let you know. Okay, but I do like to chain 3 and do 2 trebles into the corner directly underneath straight away so that I create the first part of the corner. So I flip this around for you. I've created the first part of the corner, and I'm going to go straight over and do a full corner here, full corner here, full corner here, and then I'm going to finish off my corner at this side by chaining 2 and joining. That way, I just think it makes there's no seam. It's really easy to do, and there's no confusion about where you started or anything like that. That's my preference, but as I said, make your squares however you like. Okay, so I'm going to go along here with round 2. So I had some questions prepared here, or some like would you rather stuff. So I thought it might be kind of fun to do some would you rather stuff. So whether you're watching live or whether you're just joining on the playback after, do please let me know your answers to these. It'll be fun to chat along. So the first, would you rather? We might get a little bit of controversial or hot takes here. Oh, it's my other page. Okay, so would you rather only to be able to use acrylic yarn forever, or only be able to use one hook size forever? Okay, so would you rather only to be able to use acrylic yarn forever, or only to be able to use one particular hook size forever? And I'm not an acrylic yarn snob, by the way. If you've watched some of my other videos, you'll have seen that I'm not bothered by that. I'm just throwing these out there as a little bit of conversation. So would I rather use the same size hook forever or acrylic yarn forever? I reckon I'd probably use acrylic yarn forever, because like a yarn is yarn. I can have any different weight yarn I want, any color, anything, and I can use whatever hook size I like. So that's actually not too difficult. I would just go with acrylic yarn forever. If you had to use the same hook size forever, that would be so restrictive. That would be really restrictive. Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna use acrylic yarn forever. Let's see what you're thinking down here. Oh, Rafaela, I really hope I'm saying your name right. I'm so sorry. You know, when you have online friends and you've never actually spoken to them. Rafaela, you're using a DK 100% acrylic with some different colors in it. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, and Sam and Rafaela both agreed they would use acrylic forever. And yes, it can be really soft. There's loads of gorgeous soft ones. Actually, that one you're using, Sam, I have heard that the Premier yarn, anti-pilling yarn, is meant to be really, really soft. So yeah, so far we're all in agreement. Acrylic yarn forever would be preferable to the same hook size forever. So like I say, if you're just joining now, we are doing the Lady Rose poncho. It's a crochet along with me here, Hooked on Crochet. There's a free pattern download available on my Ravelry, and there's lots of tester pictures that showcase the poncho on different body types and also show off different yarns that people used. So if you would like to join, do check out my Ravelry, my Instagram, my other videos, and you'll get a sense of what's going on here. We're on week 1. We have just started with square number 1. The poncho needs 4 squares, and we are 2 rounds into our first square. Okay, so Sam, it's your favorite. That's brilliant. Yeah, I must try and get some here in Ireland. It's mad how different, like, countries will just have different yarns. Add a Q&A sticker. I don't think I'll try that. YouTube is suggesting things. Yeah, no, we're not going to do that, YouTube. We're just going to try and stream. Or stream. Am I streaming? Go live, whatever I'm trying to do. We'll just crochet for now. Okay, so cool. Yeah, it's your favorite yarn. Yeah, I'd like to get some here. Oh, that's what I was saying. Yeah, it's mad how different countries have their staples, their go-to yarns, and yeah, they might not necessarily be available in a different country. So yeah, we've all got our own kind of Stylecraft would probably be the closest kind of thing to the Premier from what I can see. So yeah, I'm about to go on to round 3 now. You can see it's going to work up quite quickly. And I think you can tell, like, you want that drape. I'm using a 5mm hook and I'm a loose crocheter. So that's probably the equivalent of a 6mm hook, maybe, to someone else. You want that drape. You don't want it to be a stiff material. And because this is cotton, when I block it, it will get even more drapey. So yeah, so that is round 2 done. And you can see how, like, you really can't tell where I joined that at all. Sorry, I don't have the best background for showing that off right now. But you can't tell where I joined because I just join up here in the corner. So yeah, okay, away we go for round 3 of our poncho. I'm hoping to stay on live for about 1 hour. I don't know if that will be enough time to get a full square done for the size I need, but I'm certainly going to give it a go. I really am having great fun just chatting away. I didn't know would I be speaking to absolutely nobody at all, which would have been fine. You know, you've got to try these things. But yeah, so let's move on to our next would you rather. So this one, I don't know. This one could be a bit divisive. Would you rather have unlimited free yarn or unlimited free patterns? Okay, so let's go over that again. Would you love, like, this is for life, I presume. Well, I'm putting in the caveat that it's for life. So would you like unlimited free yarn or would you like unlimited free patterns? What do we think? I'm going to have to think about that for a minute now. Okay, that's not as clear cut to me now as the other one. Unlimited free yarn, unlimited free patterns. There's already quite a lot of free patterns out there, I guess, between people's blogs and, you know, YouTube videos. There are, like, quite a lot of free patterns already. So am I veering towards free yarn? Yarn, this is easy. Free yarn. Okay. It's yeah. Okay, it's a no-brainer then, I guess, is it? It's a no-brainer, free yarn. Yeah, I think I'm going for free yarn. I mean, yarn can get a bit pricey, all right, and wouldn't it be amazing to have free yarn? You could always design your own patterns. You can always find free patterns on any of the, like, on Ravelry, on blogs, in magazines, maybe from the library, from books, everything like that. So yeah, okay, free yarn it is then. Free yarn from everyone in the comments so far. Like I was saying, if you're watching this back or on playback, please do let us know, because I'm going to go back to the videos. I'm going to comment again. They're not just going to go live and I'm going to forget about them. I am going to go back and have a look. So if you're watching them playback, do let us know what you think of our kind of our dilemmas or would you rather questions so far. So acrylic yarn for life and free yarn for life so far. So it's all about the yarn. So just again, if anyone else in the comments there is taking part in the cal, they're not just here to chill out and watch. Let me know what yarn you're using for your poncho, and if you are just crocheting and watching along, but you're not doing the cal, do let me know what you're working on. I like to watch cal sometimes, even when I'm not making that project just yet. Maybe I could be finishing off another project. Yeah. So I'm working along here on round 3 of the Lady Rose poncho pattern, and I am just finishing the last corner here of round 3. I'm using a tulip hook here. I've dropped that hook. Have I forgotten how to crochet? Or am I just a little bit nervous? No, I'm kind of relaxed now. I'm pretty good. Okay, so I am now finished round 3. Let me show it to you here. It's getting big now. And it's nice and holy and drapey. All right, we'll keep going. If at any stage anything goes funny, like I lose sound or anything like that, please do let me know in the comments. Thank you very much. All right, let's go with another would you rather. So, would you rather only crochet garments for the rest of your life or only crochet blankets? What do you think? Thanks, Sam, by the way. So would you like to only crochet garments for the rest of your life or only crochet blankets? Oh, I do love a blanket. I do love a blanket. Let me think. Oh, that's unfair. Will we just scrap that question? Only crochet garments or only crochet blankets? I guess we're just going to crochet garments, are we? Like, if you could only crochet blankets forever, that'd be very, very, like, that would take a long time. Crochet or blankets take a long time. So you wouldn't get like that nice dopamine hit of getting something done. Now, there are some gorgeous blankets out there. Obviously, I just have a simple granny square one there. I have, that's my book blanket of 2025. I did one square for each book I read last year. And I did like big squares in the 3 main colors of the book cover. So that I have that video up on my channel as well if anyone wants to look at it. But that's just a simple granny square one. I really would love to make one of the Janie Crow blankets, or one of the really one of the really ornate blankets. I'd really love to do one of them. So maybe I could do that. So we've got some comments here. So garments, probably garments. Blankets are my fave thing to make, but it would get boring. Yeah, it would. And I've only completed one blanket. Okay, cool. God, that's great. I love getting an insight to what people make. Yeah, so yeah, blankets do take a long time. They do take a long time. So, it will be hard. Like, you'll be working on it for a long time before you'd get any kind of payoff from it. Plus, they use a lot of yarn. So it would get expensive, I guess, after a while. So, yeah, you kind of probably would be veering more so towards garments. You've got more variety there. So how's everyone getting on? Is anybody crocheting along as they are watching here now? Have you actually started, or are you just chilling? So I am coming up on the end of round 4 here. I thought this cone would be a bit easier. Maybe it's just the way. Should I stand it on the floor maybe, or the chair beside me? Maybe there for now. I may be a round ahead. Ooh, well done you with your black yarn and all. What time is it where you are, Sam? I suppose if I stop talking so much, I get more squares done. Making squares with some scrap cotton yarn. I'm on round 3. Oh, cool. That's great. Toby, I'm presuming your name is. Thank you. So it is 12:30 p.m. Wow. Okay. God. That is a lifetime away or ago for us here. Thanks so much for joining, everybody. Okay, round 4 is done. Let me hold it up again. I've got to do something with this cone. I'm going to attempt to put it on the floor and see if that works. It'll probably go rolling onto my couch now. Okay, so round 4, maybe if I hold it here. And you can see the drape. You want it to be like that. Okay, so let me just have a little look at the pattern here just so I don't get too carried away. So the first page just shows you basically how I make a granny square, and it talks a little bit about the yarn that I chose. The second page, I don't know why I have it all out of order. The second page just shows you how I make a granny square, but most importantly as well, it gives the measurements and the rounds for that particular yarn that I used. Excuse me. So the cotton I'm using here and the variegated Hobby Horizon yarn that I used to make the purple and turquoise and pink one, that was more DK weight. So I did have to do more rounds for my size to reach the measurements that I have given here. So it's completely fine. This is not a very structured or fitted project. So you will be able to adapt and make the poncho whatever size you want. So for the size I was doing the last time, I did it with the 2 yarns held together, that mohair and that cotton blend yarn. I had to do 11 rounds to achieve the 39 centimeter square that I needed. But this, the last time when I did it in the Hobby Horizon yarn, which was a DK weight, I needed to do, I think it was 16 or 17. I've forgotten now off the top of my head, but I will put it somewhere. Maybe I'll pin it in the comments there. And I'm reckoning I'll have to do probably the same thing for this one here because it's more DK than an iron weight. So yeah, if you're making any of the other sizes, like for example, the size small to medium, if you were using a kind of an iron weight yarn, you're aiming for about 30 to 33 centimeters. It doesn't really matter. You can obviously block it out a bit to make it to increase the drape and to make the square a bit bigger. And if you're doing a size large to extra large, you're aiming for about 36 centimeters. So they were kind of the guide measurements that I used for the different sizes, and the tester seemed to get on well with those measurements. At the time when I was using those 2 yarns held together, it was coming up like about an iron weight yarn, and I was using, I think, a 6mm hook with them. Yeah, I think a 5 or 6mm hook, but I was coming in around 9, 10 and 11 rounds for the 3 sizes. So 9 for the small, medium, 10 for the large, extra large, and 11 for the 2X to 3XL. But as I said, when I did it with the DK weight yarn, I had to do more rounds to achieve the same measurements. So if you're using a DK weight, you probably will have to go above what's written on page 2 of the pattern there. But again, it's a very kind of make it up as you go along pattern. Later on in the pattern, I show you how to make the little flowers that go on the necktie. But then when I did my own, the other one, I mean, in the other yarn, the Horizon yarn, I put wooden beads on mine. So that's just some customization that you can get going there. Okay, so I'm working away here. I have 4 rounds done, and I'm thinking that I will probably need maybe 16 if it's going to be similar to the Horizon yarn. Okay, would you like to do another would you rather? Will we do another would you rather? So let's see what other one. Okay. Oh, so would you rather have to frog an entire nearly finished project? Let me try that again. Would you rather frog an almost finished project or weave in the ends on an entire granny square blanket? So I'm talking a small one, I'm talking small granny squares, changing colors every round, loads of granny squares, like 100 of them in the blanket. So are we going to weave in lots of ends, or are we going to reach almost the finish of a project and have to frog it back. Which one are we going to do? I absolutely hate weaving in ends. I know some people really like it. I am not a fan. But then frogging a project, it's so disheartening. Sometimes you're working along there and you know that you've made a mistake, but you're just hoping it'll work out. Yeah. I guess if you just maybe pop on some music or stick something mindless on the telly, you could just get going, crack on and get your ends woven in. Weaved in? Do you say weaved in or woven in? Whoops. The cone seems to be working better down on the ground there. Down on the floor, I should say. So what am I going to pick? Yeah, I think I'm probably just going to pick doing my ends. I do. Oh, there's always one. So Toby, you really like weaving in your ends. Okay. No, that is cool. I actually probably would opt for just weaving in my ends. At least you have a finished project at the end. It is very disheartening to have to frog a project. And see, I always think like, oh my God, that's all my time. I don't even think of like the frustration of having to do it. Well, yeah, obviously it's frustrating, but I don't even think of the workload of having to frog it and wind the yarn up again. I think of, oh my God, think of how many minutes and hours I spent doing this, and now I'm just having to rip it all out. So yeah, I guess I'll be a good girl and I'll weave in my ends and not give out about it. Okay, so me and Toby are weaving in the ends. What are the rest of you doing? Again, please, if you're watching on playback, let us know. I'm going to be checking out the comments once I save this, see who can catch up during the week. So Toby, if you're using cotton scraps, are you doing it all in different colors? You changing colors between rounds? Or is anybody else planning on doing that? Changing colors for each round, or are you going to stick with one shade? Or are you going to do variegated yarn? I wanted to go with a neutral color this time. I really wanted to, because the pink, I'm not actually overly a pink person. What I did really like that pink yarn I chose for the very first poncho when I was designing it. And I liked having the alpaca blaze, the hobby alpaca blaze to give that kind of mohair effect. So I did like that. But I'm not, and I like a dusty pink and I know there's pink in the other yarn as well. But yeah, there's some obviously at the time I was taking part in the hobby campaigns, and while they were still running, you can watch the hobby video I have on my channel if you want to hear more about that. But I was taking part in the campaigns and using them as an opportunity to get experience as a designer. So that's why both of the ponchos that I've made so far have been from that yarn. And I had enough left over to do the commission as well for the other one I made. But yes, I want to make a more neutral one, because the first one, I'm not an overly pink person, and the second one, it's gorgeous, but it's really, really bright. Now, I absolutely love it, but it's really, really bright. So it's not kind of everything you can wear it with. This, I was looking, actually, I think, Sam, it's a good idea to do it in black as well. I wanted in a kind of a neutral shade that is kind of just more muted and more understated. So Toby, yes, I'm changing each round. Good thing I like weaving in ends, because there will be a lot. There will. I believe in you, Toby. Okay. So yeah, we do. You can do this. It'll be gorgeous. And please do follow along on social media. I would only love to see your progress, your finished finished projects, and your progress. So do follow along. I have my community tab here, and as far as I know, subscribers can comment. So yeah, so do that. Or if you want to send me pictures, I can pop them up on the community tab. I can share them on my Instagram as well. So yeah, we are nearly 40 minutes into this live. I can't believe that. So we have 20 minutes left. I had some other little things I wanted to say, just to have a little look here and see. Yeah, oh yeah. So I have some beads I'm hoping to add to this. So I wonder, are they there? Wait. There they are. So is that like ASMR? I have some wooden ones. They're in kind of like a cream, dark brown mahogany, kind of more light wood, light oak, or whatever you'd say. So I have some wooden ones, but then I also have some really pretty, you can't actually see them through the bag. They're kind of ceramic and they have a little floral pattern on them. They're really, really pretty. I don't know, you probably can't see. I'll put some pictures up, but yeah, so I'm thinking of doing a fringe with beading this time. I've been looking it up and I've saved some pictures of what I want to do. So yeah, I've been looking, and also there was kind of a cool example in one of the vintage crochet books that I bought of how to kind of use beads and fringe together. So I'm thinking I might like to so cute. Thank you, Kaylin. So I'm thinking I might like to add like beads to it. So I think I might do that at the end. And also the colourful poncho I made, when I made the necktie, I opted not to do the flowers this time, and I did the wooden beads, but they were just kind of like from an art shop. They weren't like specific for haberdashery or whatever word you want to say for fiber arts. They were just like wooden beads from a craft shop. So I put them at the end of the ties, and I actually really like that. I think I might like it more than the flowers. I'm not sure. Or maybe it's just nice to have one poncho with flowers and one with beads. Do you think you'll add fringe to yours? Or is it too early to tell? And do you think you will do the flowers, or do you think you'll do beads? Let me know what you think. So, I forgot to show you now, but I'm after starting round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm after starting round 6 now. So it does fly along, I guess. It will kind of be handy that I have to miss 1 week of the 6 weeks, because it will give people a chance to catch up. And at least it's nothing graded, or it's nothing with decreases or increases or anything like that. No sleeves, so we won't get stuck on Sleeve Island. It's just 4 granny squares. And the thing that takes probably the most time is just doing the fringe. I think the testers who are here in the chat would probably agree with me. Doing the fringe is probably what takes the longest. Yeah, you might add beads too, Sam. That'll be cool. What color would you use with your yarn now? I guess it's a kind of a neutral like mine. You could use any color you want. I'm going to have a little drink of water now, everybody. So bear with. Okay, so we have just under 20 minutes left. This has been a lovely first experience. It really, really has. I was saying in one of my videos recently that my 2026 motto remains better done than perfect. So I've really been channeling better done than perfect as best I can, because if you're to wait for the right moment in life to do things, I don't know that you'd ever do them. Well, most certainly not me anyway. So yeah, better done than perfect. Maybe I didn't do everything perfectly. Maybe the pattern's not perfect. Maybe whatever. I'm trying not to stress about anything like that anymore. So better done than perfect. There's no time like the present. And yeah, you never know what's around the corner for any of us. So you might as well just embrace and enjoy the days you have. That was very philosophical, but I was just trying to explain, explain myself there, I guess. I'd rather have taken this chance and set up a YouTube channel and just gone for it than wondered forever about it. So, yeah. if you are dreaming of doing something or have always wanted to do something, my advice is just to go and do it. So I was going to do one of the other things I wanted to chat about on this live as well is if you've got any crochet confessions. So crochet confessions as in the one I was going to focus on is what is the oldest whip in your collection? So what is the whip that has kind of been banished to the back of a box or the bottom of a bag somewhere? What's the one that's just been haunting you? How long has it been there? I have two spring to mind. Not that they're haunting me, to be fair. One was haunting me, and one I just got completely distracted away from, and now I'm unsure. Not unsure of the pattern, but a little bit. I guess I'd have to like really study it and go at it again to remember. So what project? A Harry Potter blanket. Whoa! Is it crochet or knit? And is it haunting you just because it's taking so long, or is it not haunting you? You're really enjoying it. It takes a lot of time to do. Tell me why it's the one that's been the longest project that you've been working on, or not. It's not even the longest project you've been working on. I guess it could be that too. I'll give you my example and it might make it clearer. I started a sweater like I think it was over 3 years ago, and I don't think that I had the experience that I needed to tackle this, and I got really caught up in my yarn choices. And it just didn't work. I just couldn't get it to work. I think I chained up and started probably 3 different times and had to rip back like 3 times. And I just got totally disheartened. And when I'd worked halfway up the front panel again and realized that it was still not the right size. Once it was too small, then it was too big. Then it was too big again, even though I'd taken away stitches and whatever. And I just put it in I put it in a bag in the bottom of a box, and it stayed there for about 3 years. So I'm actually making a cardigan from it now. So eventually I just took it out and I said, no, I have to deal with this. So this is 3 years later. I have to deal with this. This is lovely yarn. There's no reason, to leave that sitting there rotting away. So not literally rotting away, but you know what I mean. Gathering dust, I suppose I should say. There's no point leaving it there. So I'm going to take it out. I'm going to frog the yarn, make up my little yarn cakes and get going on a new project. So now I'm making a long line. I think it's the Hexi Flexi long line cardigan. And I'm not 100% sure in the designer's name, but I will pop it there. I'll pop it in the comments later. But yes, so I've reclaimed that yarn and I am making a long line cardigan, kind of a duster length one for a concert that I'm going to soon. And actually, if I don't get my butt in gear and hurry on and do that cardigan, I won't be wearing a handmade cardigan to this concert, which has been a little vision of mine for a while. So I better get cracking and actually do this. Maybe I'll wear a poncho instead. Oh no, it won't be finished. No, I have to finish my cardigan. So that's one of my examples. What are you guys saying there? You are on row 17. You're on, it takes time. Okay, yeah. So it's a crochet blanket, Sam, a Harry Potter one, and it takes time to do. So you're on row 17 of the project already. Okay, cool. Yeah, but sometimes it's worth it. You got caught up testing, I know, and designing, and that's what happens too. You get caught up because that's what happened with my other project. I have a blanket in a bag. It's looking at me from over here, and I bought the yarn for it in Wales and when I was on holidays last year, and I really love it. And it was a star-shaped blanket that I really wanted to make for a while. But I started it, I got halfway through, and then I left it there because I got just so distracted doing other projects. And I haven't got back to it. And the pattern is perfectly fine. It's understandable. It's just there's some back post and front post stuff, and each round is a little different. Like there's maybe 3 or 4 round repeats or row repeats. So I just need to get back into it again and actually finish it. You've got a raffia hat that you started doing the pandemic. Yeah, but it's really hard to work with that. Sometimes that's really hard in your hands. Yeah, I made a whole hat recently and I had to rip it back. It's so gorgeous, the yarn, but it just looked like it was going to be too small. And then as I continued on, it just ended up being too big. I had to rip it all the way back and start it again. I still think it's a teeny bit too big, but I don't mind because I don't like that. I don't want the hat to be too tight on my head either. So yeah, we've all got some crochet confessions to make. So maybe if I hold that against the cushion, you can see. So I am 6 6 rounds in. We've got 10 minutes left. Okay. So maybe it's not feasible to get a granny square done in an hour. Or maybe I just need to stop chitter chattering. Okay. I'm going to keep going for another few minutes. So just at this point, I guess I will say just again, please do follow along on social media. Please do send me any progress pictures, and obviously finished projects when you do finish them. And do subscribe. It really helps. Like, share, comment, all that helps. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to going live again next week, now that I know that my microphone works, that I have my little setup here. Yeah, I'm happy with this yarn. I had brought over my little pouch of crochet hooks because I wasn't sure what hook size to go with. But I reckon the DK weight here was going to be a 4mm, and I wanted to go one size up from that. There isn't very much information on that yarn label, actually. Maybe that is a bit dubious. I don't know. So yeah, it didn't give actually a suggested hook size, but I was just kind of looking at the yarn myself and guessing. So I went one hook size up. So I'm using a cotton yarn, 100% cotton yarn in a DK weight, I would say, and a 5mm hook. What other kind of projects are you guys working on? It's pretty much summer here now, even though the weather hasn't been fantastic. So I was working on that sun hat. It's a Zines and Roger pattern. I love it. So I was working on that, and I was working on the long line Flexi Hexi Cardi pattern as well, which I have to be good and actually work on now. I'll sort this yarn cone situation out a bit better for next time. I don't know. Maybe I need to put it on its side or something. The cone. We had the last night of crochet class. I was just saying at the beginning there that I teach crochet classes, face-to-face ones, locally here. So we had our last night of the term there last night. So it was lovely to see everything that everyone had made. There was everything from baby blankets to amigurumi to bags. There were gorgeous squares being made, different granny squares from the Claire Montgomery granny square deck card deck. So there was loads of lovely little things, gorgeous projects being made. Vests, beach bags. Yeah, gorgeous things. I have a top coming out maybe next weekend, a skirt pattern, a dress test. Wow, you are busy. Oh my goodness. You are busy. Sam is a designer as well. So is Rafaela here. Maybe others are in the comments too. So we should all go and support each other, go and check each other out. Sam and Rafaela have lovely patterns out. You can check out their Instagrams and their Ravelries too if they want to. You're obviously more than welcome to drop them here. If you're not comfortable doing that, that's completely fine. Oh God, we're just coming into, what have we? 7 minutes left. It does work out quite quickly though, really. I know each round takes a little bit longer because it's getting bigger, but not bad going. Yeah, I'm going to be disciplined though. So when I go off live here, I am going to finish this square. I'm going to aim to do the same each of the weeks. Make sure I finish the square so that I am working on the next square the next week and not starting, not continuing on the old square. So this will be finished. When I finish this live, I will finish this square and I will be ready for week 2, square 2 next week. You've been working on Sam's design. Oh, that's fab. Oh, you guys are so supportive. Sam and Rafaela have tested for me so many times, and I've tested for them as well where I could. They're so supportive. These are the online people that like you've never met in real life, but yet you chat to quite frequently. That is so nice. Okay, what are we at now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm 7 rounds in. 7 rounds in. Okay, maybe we'll try for one more. How many rounds in square? I'm not going in a pattern. Okay, so I think that's you, Edel from. Yep, cool. Okay, so I reckon you would probably be okay to do your square to the measurements rather than the rounds, because I'm not sure what yarn you're using. So maybe go ahead and make a 33 centimeter wide square and see what that's like. A 33 centimeter square. So you're just measuring like across your square till it's 33 centimeters. That should be good. And then kind of lay it over your shoulder. I was just saying this earlier on in the video. Lay it over and it should like be hitting you from kind of diagonally in your armpit here back over to your shoulder blade. So that's kind of how you get an idea. You want, if you look at the pictures on Instagram of the poncho, you can see where that first seam hits, and it hits kind of down at this angle. So you need the square to be wide enough to go from this point back over your shoulder, kind of toward like as far as your shoulder blades. So maybe aim for about 33 centimeters. Using acrylic and a 6mm hook. Brilliant. Yeah, you do want some drape in that. So that's a great choice. Brilliant. Okay, so we really only have 4 minutes left. Just to recap, my name is Maura. This is Hooked on Crochet. We are working on the Lady Rose Poncho Cal. This is week 1, square 1. And next week, and for the next 5 weeks, basically, we are going to be doing this pattern at this time on this channel. And I'm just very excited to share this design with you and just to chat and connect and talk all things crochet. So if you have any things you'd like me to talk about next week in the live, do drop them in the comments. And please do comment, even if you're watching this back on the playback. I will be monitoring the comments. So I will be looking at them and checking them, responding, replying. So do let me know, are you taking part in the Cal, or are you just, watching, chilling and crocheting on your own project? If you are taking part in the Cal, what yarn are you using? What colors? Have you gone for a neutral like some of us here, or are you going to do your traditional kind of changing colors every round granny square like somebody else here as well? So let me know what yarn you're using, where you're watching from. Do drop comments below, and please do like, share, all that good stuff too. You are so welcome. It's coming up to almost an hour. I'm going to see. I'm probably not going to get the round done, but I just wanted to give those little reminders. And yes, you can get the pattern on my Ravelry. So there's the free pattern download, and it gives everything you need to know about the measurements and the granny square and all that. So there's the measurements there. So yeah, do check that out. Just download that for yourself. It's handy to have. And come and join me next week at 8 p.m. GMT +1, so 8 p.m. Irish time, and we will work on the second square of the Granny Rose Poncho. So I'll finish and show a picture on Instagram. Well, that'd be lovely. And thank you all for saying thank you. It's me that should be saying thank you to you. I've really enjoyed this. So yeah, I guess I'm going to wrap it up now. I'm not going to get this square finished in the hour, but I guess you could say I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, almost 8 rounds done in this hour. I'm sure if I was just straight up crocheting, I probably would have gotten about maybe 10 or 12. But yeah, I'm going to finish the square, and yeah, maybe I should finish it and pop it up on Instagram too. That'd be nice to do. So as I said, I'm Maura. This is Hooked on Crochet. This is week 1 of the Lady Rose Poncho Cal. And do join us next week for part 2, where we will crochet Granny Square 2. Thank you so much to all of you for joining. You've made this the most pleasurable experience. I was nervous going into it, but those nerves are completely gone now. And I've just really enjoyed sitting here crocheting. Hang on a second. I am actually at the very last corner. Sorry, I thought I had another side to do. So I will finish this before it hits the hour. Let me join with my slip stitch. And there we go. Okay, so I got 8 rounds done in an hour. It's lovely and drapey. It's nice and light. I'm loving this color. I'm glad I went with this. Maybe if I put it in front of my cushion, you can see more clearly. So yeah, there you go. See you next week. I am so glad that you joined, and thank you very much for joining. And now I just have to remember how to turn this off, I think, here. Bye-bye. Thank you so much.